Hello, welcome to this video about the new moon in Taurus, which is yes, in Taurus at 25:58 degrees of Taurus. And this new moon is conjunct the fixed star Algol and also the asteroid Ceres. So this is what I'm going to talk about today in this video. And to start with, yes, we can say that this new moon is a new beginning in what and who we value. So this new moon is conjunct Algol, and this is an opportunity to become aware of what needs to be eliminated from our psyche, such as outdated belief and behavior that poison the world with corruption, resentments, and a false scarcity mentality, when in reality, this earth has enough natural resources for everyone. But some people want us to believe that it is not equally accessible for some of us. So, first of all, I'm going to now share my screen and then show you the chart of this new moon in Taurus. Okay, so now you should see my screen. Where's my screen? So, oh yeah, this is my screen. So this is the chart. Exactly. So this is the chart. Now let me draw quickly where this new moon is so you can see it. So as you see, 25:28, the sun and the moon, they are here at 25:28 of Taurus. And also, I'm going to put this into a different color. Let's do some green. Right. And then you can see Ceres is exactly conjunct this new moon also at 25 degrees. Okay. And we're not seeing it on this chart, but Algol is also there at like 26. So let me just remove this. Yeah, so Algol is also here. That's why this full moon is sandwiched in between Algol and Ceres. This is what this is about. So, first of all, if you are a Taurus and if today is your birthday, then happy birthday to you. And know that this is then means that this is a new moon in your first house, in your a house of the self, of yourself, of your identity. So it's very important, especially if your sun or your ascendant is nearby 25 degrees, then you feel it the most. And yeah, so that means that for you, Taurus, this is in your first house of your identity, or is also about your body. And this is a new beginning about yourself. It's a new beginning in yourself, about how you present yourself to others. And now is a good time for you to redefine your identity and if you are showing uh, review if you are showing your truest self or if it's a mask that you are wearing. So it's all about you now, Taurus. So yeah, and I love Taurus because I have two of my siblings. They are Taurus. So so that's good. If you have Taurus siblings, you know that it doesn't matter if you go away for 10 years, you know, your Taurus sibling is still gonna be there when you call them and they'll still be doing the same thing. And they'll still be there for you. So yeah, I love Taurus. There's a lot of Taurus in my life. Taurus is everywhere, and Libras as well, probably because my ascendant ruler is next to Venus. So yeah, so I just want to say happy birthday to all of you Tauruses. And yeah, so what else so to start with, like I said, when there is a new moon, the sun and the moon are always into a conjunction, isn't it? So the moon, as you can see, just passed in front of the sun, and that's like a reset of energy, a renewal, a restart, a new beginning. So, and the sun is our ego, and the moon is our emotional body. And now, when there's a new moon, both the conscious and unconscious parts of ourselves, they are coming together in a new way. And as this is in Taurus, we can feel this renewal physically, because Taurus rules over the physical body. And a new moon in Taurus is about planting new seeds of intention for a reset and hopefully an increase of your self-worth. Now know that when there is a new moon, your intuition is heightened regarding who and what is valuable now. So again, you can trust your intuition now. Yeah, and because this new moon is in Taurus. So first of all, we have to look at Taurus. And Taurus, it's an earth sign, it's a fixed sign, it's a very grounding energy. Taurus are deeply connected to sensations. It's a relaxed energy, and Taurus are very sensual also. So this new moon is a new beginning, like I said, in what we value and what we rely on to feel secure is now changing. So this is what this full moon is about. This is a new beginning about us. We're having some realizations. And because of these realizations, we are shifting our value system. Because Taurus is about what makes us feel secure, what we are attached to out of routine or because of tradition. And also what we are attached to because we are used to it. Because Taurus wants to do things in the same way. The shadow of Taurus is that they can go too far to keep their stability, to keep the status quo. They want to keep their material pleasures and delights, at all costs. They stubbornly hang on to what they have, to their possessions, because that's how they feel secure. So they can manipulate people and situations, to stubbornly avoid change. Because we always say that manipulation is Scorpio. But again, Scorpio and Taurus, they are opposite. So they both have each other's traits. They have things in common. And so we underestimate that actually Tauruses, they can also be manipulating to avoid change, and the lesson with this Taurus energy is that in life, nothing stays the same. Fortunately or unfortunately, it depends. Each of us, we react to change differently. So in the area of your chart, in the Taurus area of your chart, then this is where you hang on to things that is hard to let it go. And obviously, if you got a lot of planet in Taurus, and then you're even more going to be like this as well. So this is why it's good to know your chart. If you don't know your chart and your houses, you can go in the link below this description, and then I'll send you a free birth chart, so you can just know where your Taurus house is in your birth chart. And also, I'll send you a free transit for a whole year with a short summary about every transit, about, into a nutshell, what will happen. So you can have a look, and you can also start learning if you want to. For now, in this new moon in Taurus, this is a time to look at where we are resisting change because we fear losing our security, because we fear losing things like money, love, or possessions, even though these things have become toxic or outdated, toxic and outdated. But we are still somehow hanging on to it, out of fear. And with the Taurus energy, we can be scared of not having enough resources to start anew. And this is why we resist change. This is why we can be afraid of leaving our comfort zone. We hang on to old habits, to material objects and possessions, because we are scared of not being good enough without them. And we feel insecure to not have the skills necessary for a new beginning. However, it is in stagnation. It is stagnation that is dangerous. And it's our old habits that hold us back from the new experiences, the new places and the new people, and the new way of life or a new belief system. Because anything new, it is actually what boosts our skills, increase our opportunities, and also increase our self-confidence. So that's one of the lessons of Taurus, because they think that they have to hang on to what they have always had, who was always there, what they always been doing, because they think that this is how they're going to remain safe and secure. But actually, we have to have new experiences to gain, some inner wealth, some inner confidence. It's like if you've got a child, I don't have children, but you know what I mean? It's a good example. Like if you have children, like even me when I was a child, for example, isn't it? We all been there. You have to leave the nest. You have to leave your mom. And then at first, you're scared, isn't it? When you go into a summer camp, isn't it? You used to cry and you don't want to leave your mom. But then when you come back, you met so many people. You learn a lot of things to do by yourself. And now you feel stronger inside, isn't it? And then one day you leave your home, and then you need to do this, and that's how you gain some inner strength, and that's how you feel more secure. Because sometimes by staying in the same place, we're not moving forward. So, and then things around us, they start aging, they start dying, and they start to get boring. And we are stagnating, and this is no way of life, isn't it? So yeah, this new moon in Taurus is now it's a time when we have to just calm down, because in life things don't always happen, quickly. We not always have some actions. There are times in life when we just have to stay still and then look around us, see, and enjoy what we already have, and just do our routine, stay comfortable. So now is for the next 2 weeks, it's actually a time to just reflect before the action will come. After, when there's going to be two lunations, and one is going to be in Sagittarius, and then the other one is going to be in Gemini, which they are two mutable signs, fire and earth. So things will be moving later on. So now for these 2 weeks, it's good to assess, our lives. And the moon in Taurus, to feel secure, needs routine, calm, comfort, stability, safety, material security. The good thing is that the moon in Taurus is what we say is exalted. This means that it's good for growth, it's good for growing things. It has a divine feminine energy, a mother, a grandmother energy. That's the moon energy. So the feminine energy is what brings us life. So now it's a good time to plant seeds, literally, or you know what I mean, like true seed in your garden if you want to plant things, vegetables, but also in your life if you want to initiate some projects, or in your mind if you want to change your mindset or prepare yourself for the things that you're going to have to let go of and change, So because new things started, especially now at this new moon in Taurus, because we know that every new moon we talk about planting seeds and that it's the beginning, something will grow later on. Well, now even more, there's even more potential for growth because the moon is exalted. So the moon is very fertile when it's exalted in Taurus. It's actually good for material, manifesting material, abundance in your life. Right. So at this new moon in Taurus, if we slow down and take time to listen, we can notice how our body is now talking to us. Because the body actually talks to us if we take time to listen. So now it's a good time to do that because Taurus is all about being grounded and in the physical body also. This is a beautiful feminine energy that is about sending loving thoughts and emotions into the world to attract what we need, rather than using force to get what we want. Okay, so also with this new moon, what's going on then? So I highlighted Algol and Ceres. Let me take some purple. So Venus rules this new moon. Venus is in Gemini at 27 degrees here. And Venus is sextiling Mars. Mars is conjunct Chiron here at 28 degrees of Aries. So that's the main thing happening at this eclipse. Excuse me, at this new moon. This new moon. It's not an eclipse, it's a new moon. So also, and Venus, who rules this new moon, Venus is ruled by Mercury. Mercury is in Taurus at 28 degrees. And Mercury is doing a out of signs conjunction with Uranus, who we know is at 1 degree of Gemini. So that's the main energy for now. I'm just going to put some red because otherwise we just get confused. Right. So yeah, so these are the main things to look at because Venus is the most important because she's ruling this new moon. Venus is ruled by Mercury, is in Taurus. And Mercury is conjuncting Uranus out of sign conjunction, which we have to take into account because it's under 3 degrees. And then, yeah, Venus is sextiling Mars, who is exactly conjunct Chiron. All right, so let me talk about this. This means that Mercury is helping us to understand now that Mercury is conjunct with Uranus. Mercury is helping us to understand something that we didn't understand before because with Uranus, Mercury, our intuition is now switched on. So now we can pick up ideas, new understanding that just comes to us from the ether. So this is a renewal of what we value because an information that was hidden. Why the information was hidden? Because only 2 days ago, before this new moon, Mercury was Casimir. That means Mercury was exactly conjunct with the sun. So that means that something is hidden a message was hidden, but not anymore, because now Mercury is passed in front of the sun, and even more now Mercury is conjuncting with Uranus. So there was information that just came out when Mercury came out of Casimir and Mercury conjuncted with Uranus. This information that was hidden came to light, or we simply had a realization ourselves, a realization about how to innovate the way we relate with others in order to increase our self-worth. So this is this realization that is igniting this new start. First we had this realization, and now we're like, okay, haha, now things are like this. I'm gonna do things this way now. Sometimes because you have a realization, you have a new way of thinking, you have a new idea, and it's changing how you see things. It's changing what you value and who you value, things like that. So the fact that Venus is sextiling with Mars, this is showing us that the divine masculine within us and the divine feminine within us are in conversation. And Venus is the planet of what we value. And she is giving a helping hand to Mars. Because Mars is now a wounded warrior, because Mars is conjuncting with Chiron. So our actions, because Mars is conjunct Chiron, our action at this time, they can hurt. And any hurt caused now will have consequences soon after this new moon, because Mars will go and square with Pluto, because Mars is at 28, and then it's going to, soon after this new moon, enter into Taurus, and then you see it's going to square with Pluto, who is here at 5 of Aquarius. So whatever action we take here, we will feel the effect of it. So we have to be careful now what we are doing, and be mindful that it's going to then, is going to come to a climax. So whatever we do now. Because Mars square Pluto is a potential for violence. And there is going to be some pressure release of some frustration that we are having about some financial issues and financial blocks, most likely, because Taurus is a sign associated with finances, and then Mars is going to go into Taurus. That's when it's going to square Pluto. So know that when there is a Mars square Pluto, just quickly, let me tell you when this will happen, so you can just, that you have to stay kind of chilled until this happened. Because when there is Mars square Pluto, so yeah, approximately on the 25th of May, there's going to be this Mars square Pluto. So yeah, when there is Mars square Pluto, the advice is not to get involved, into argument. Just keep in mind, because that's when it can escalate beyond anything you thought that it would go. So try to take upon yourself and stay calm and step back. And also know that the best way to deal with Pluto is to at least know that you have done your best. So I mean that you have been a decent person, that you have not used your power, that you have not abused of your power, because when you abuse of your power with Pluto, it will backfire. So use your power in the right way, and then you have done your best, and then step back and just don't get involved with aggressive people if they come at you, and try to put your energy into something constructive. In the meantime, at this new moon, for now, there is a lot of feminine energy that is being highlighted, because Taurus is ruled by Venus, which is a feminine energy. And then also, let's not forget that Jupiter is still in Cancer, also where he's still exalted, and is actually sextiling, this new moon. Cancer, which is also a feminine energy. Yeah, so, and the new moon is ruled by Venus, like I said. So, yeah, Taurus is ruled by Venus, a feminine energy. And Taurus is about our self-worth, about what matters to us most, and about what we value, because it supports our survival. Like our Mother Earth is made of matter, or like our physical body. The Earth, our physical body, these are things, isn't it, we can't live without. That's why it's about survival. And also, Taurus rules the second house. The second house is the house associated with our survival. It's the most important things that we need to live, isn't it? Because it's not just our money. Taurus it also can show, isn't it, your family and what you own, what you have already within yourself to survive with, and also your own ability to survive, you know. So this is a time to realize that the real treasure we are looking for is within us. True wealth is within our physical body. And this is not something that we have to earn, not something that we have to go and seek outside ourselves. The body is the temple of our soul. This is why most people agree on the fact that health matters more than external wealth, and to enjoy the pleasures that our possessions and financial wealth can give us, we need to be in good physical health, isn't it? So this is why this energy is what we need to survive, isn't it? The physical body is what's most important, because what's the point that you have so much millions or billions and then you'll be physically sick? Do you know what I mean? So that's why the physical body is what we need to survive. Same as the earth. No matter what we have, if the earth is dying, then we will die too. To survive as a human, we need the earth to be in good health. If the earth is polluted, then she won't bless us with material delights for much longer. So this is what this new moon is inviting us to enjoy and appreciate the beauty within us and around us, rather than being distracted and busy by chasing outer possessions and power-hungry ambitions of greed that we have suffered for long enough under these outdated patriarchal systems who make profit on women's free labors, who make profits on women's submission to lower status and to lower pay, and who get wealthy by raping the earth and the divine feminine within all of us, of its treasure. All men and all women both have a divine feminine and a divine masculine energy within. So this is the patriarchal social construct that has brainwashed us to believe that gender was either male or female. This isn't true. All of us have both genders within. This separation of the feminine and masculine has been constructed to oppress the divine feminine energy. Because when something or someone is powerful. Some who are insecure, they fear it. And when we fear a group of people, we oppress them. We want to steal their power. When we fear someone's power, we want to keep her suppressed under some clause. We want to keep her naive and powerless in the kitchen or on some low wages with less opportunities for high status in society. Well, not anymore. Because this new moon is a reminder to enjoy the simple pleasures of life. Because we have what we need within, and we all have abundance within ourselves. This earth doesn't discriminate. The earth has abundance for all of us. This new moon with a strong feminine energy is a reminder that the matriarchy is in the process of returning. So why I'm saying that? Because like I said at the beginning, the new moon is also conjunct Algol fixed star. So we're not seeing it here, but quickly, let me fix star. So it's messy, but yeah, so where is it? Yeah, you see it's here, 2632. 2632 degrees is where Algol is. So you see, it's about a degree from this new moon. So Algol is talking to us, and this is why I'm talking about what I'm talking about. Algol is a divine feminine energy. So it can bring up trauma responses. When we have this in our birth chart, it can bring up trauma responses and retaliatory rage. However, we hear all these awful things, I mean, if you go and do a search for Algol, there's a lot of scary things. Because Algol is a misunderstood fixed star. Okay, so Algol is directly connected to goddess energy. Even though if you do an internet research on Algol, you will dive into an abyss of misery. But there is no need to be scared. Algol is found in the constellation of Perseus. Algol represents Medusa, the most misunderstood of all the goddesses. Algol was originally feared mostly by male astrologers because they feared feminine wisdom. Not surprising when many awful state of affairs in the world reflect the fact that some men are scared of wise women. And fixed star expert Bernadette Brady, she said about Algol, this star seems to contain immense female passion and power. It is the power of the feminine or the potential power of Mother Nature, not to be called evil for being strong. In that way, Algol is perhaps mostly about the power to create. So Medusa is one of the so-called powerful dark goddesses. It is a fixed star linked to the re-emergence of the divine feminine. And yeah, it is one of the most misunderstood of all the fixed stars. And because it's directly connected to the goddess energy. And The Medusa's name means sovereign feminine wisdom. It's also another name for the goddess of speech and writing to humans, who governs science, music, and the arts. Right. So the slaying of the Medusa by Perseus is thought to be a mythic account of the transition from matriarchy to patriarchy. Algol represents the goddess who represents the move from matriarchal to patriarchal society. And this is why another astrologer called Kim Falconer said Algol in the chart representing Medusa may indicate a place where the sacred feminine is most potent. She adds, we should not stop looking at Algol and Medusa as negative. Sometimes the thousands of years of gathered knowledge is thousands of years of bias. And there is even a male astrologer called Jonathan Kainer, who said about this fixed star, in legend, Perseus killed Medusa and proudly held aloft her head. Medusa was once synonymous with sovereign feminine wisdom. Some scholars believe the patriarchal Greeks deliberately demonized her by depicting an ugly gorgon. The new bright explosion in the realm of Perseus may therefore portend the redress of an ancient imbalance. If so, expect a time soon when strong, wise women begin to reclaim the spiritual and political leadership of society. So, Algol also represents the powerful woman who won't take any crap. Her slaying by Perseus represents the end of the matriarchy by the patriarchy. But now a new day is dawning. And this new moon is a signal for it as well. And like the cycles of nature, like the seasons, and like the zodiac signs, the order is reversing back from the end of patriarchy to matriarchy. Things are reversing. So, real femininity is not to be feared because it's powerful. Religious people tell us we are made in the image of God, but not of any goddess. However, we are all yin and yang. Men trying to be only masculine and women trying to be only feminine means not honoring the divinity within us all. Since the divine surely must be masculine and feminine. So about Medusa, to conclude, Medusa is not a monster to be feared, but a powerful figure to be respected and reclaimed. We can celebrate Medusa as a symbol of resistance, autonomy, and the enduring strength of women in the face of patriarchal oppression. Medusa is a powerful archetype for the divine feminine's energies, empowerment, and the fight against gender-based violence and injustice. And this is why she wants us to say now at this new moon, and this is why she's just next to this new moon. She wants us to talk about this injustice. So this is what I had to say about this. And also, Ceres at 2501 of Taurus is here as well. Ceres is the goddess of the harvest and agriculture, the goddess of the beauty and abundance of the earth. Ceres rules over the access to our basic needs, such as nutrition, and mostly Ceres is about food, agriculture. Ceres has to do with large celebration meals, or the opposite, a scarcity of food. So yeah, into a birth chart, you can even see with Ceres, you can see, if someone could have any, weight issue, weight issues, nutrition issues. Also, there's another side to Ceres. She has to do with grief and loss. The grief of time that went by, grief on things that we cannot change, when sometimes we look back in time and we're like, oh, this decade went so fast, and time goes by so quickly, isn't it? And we feel a bit melancholic when we think of the past, and we have some kind of grief that it's over now and there's nothing we can do about it. This is Ceres energy. She's linked with her story is a story of grief, loss, and rage. Because I don't know if you know a story, but basically her daughter Persephone was kidnapped by Pluto. And then she spent a long time searching for her daughter. And then she went to ask Jupiter for help. And then basically, long story short, at the end of it, she found a daughter and she was in the underworld with Pluto. And then she, with the help of Jupiter, they made a deal. And then her daughter was allowed to come back to her every spring and summer. But then she will go back in the winter to the underworld with Pluto. And that's when Ceres will be, grieving for her loss. But there is also a uplifting side to this story because the daughter was coming back every summer, isn't she? So that's when Ceres would have again some hope. And that's why Ceres is associated with love, hope, and the renewal of a cycle, like the changes of the season. So that's why at this new moon in Taurus, with Ceres conjuncting it. Not only a new moon is about a renewal, isn't it? A reset, but now even more because Ceres herself also represents the renewal of a cycle. So we are all invited in the Taurus area of our charts to go for this renewal. And in this case, like I said before, it's a renewal of what we value about also our self-worth, isn't it? So with Ceres conjunct this new moon, now is also a good time for healing any grief relating to topic of mothers, daughters, attachments. Also, to heal any grief or losses to do with our maybe ancestry, with our grandmothers and mothers. This new moon is a reminder that sometimes we have to experience loss and grief to realize how valuable what we have really is, isn't it? Because it's when something is gone that we realize this value sometimes, unfortunately, isn't it? What the expression says, makes the heart fonder. Absence makes the heart fonder, something like that. So yeah, we can, we can make ourselves feel better if there is something that we have lost and that we are grieving for. Then we can bring some wisdom into it, and that can be healing. To think, well, I've lost that thing, but now it won't happen again. I've learned from it, and now I am cherishing. Now I am nurturing. Now I am taking care. I am nourishing what I have left. So that's how it can be a renewal if we were grieving, wasting our time in some loss and resentment, and then we create more resentment in the future. So we might as well accept that this is over, this is gone, go through this phase of grief, and then start something new with more wisdom, and at least enjoy what we have now, rather than spend the rest of our life in grief for what is gone. Isn't it? Because we are still here, we still have years to live. We might as well make the best of it, rather than spend the rest of our life being miserable because time went by and we wasted some things, or tragic event happened. And so, yeah, nice, good time. Why not to actually look at what we actually have, who is there that's valuable, what we have that's valuable, where is that has potential to last long in time, and to nourish it and make the best with what we have and be grateful for it. So, yeah, we are invited at this Taurus new moon to simply be, to tune into our ancestors' wisdom and ancestral remembering. So yeah, this Taurus new moon is about just being present. We always want to be doing this, being busy, doing this. It's about being fully present, fully engaged in the now, and experiencing life through our senses. This is when we can access a deeper level of inner peace. So take advantage of it, because in this world, it's not all the time that we are advised to take our time. But now the cycle of natures are encouraging us to, enjoy our simple delights, enjoy, good food, our material possessions, and who makes us feel secure, and to take our time to go in nature, and to process things, because then things will be moving faster. And also just breathe in now and ground yourself before this Mars square Pluto comes, because at that time we're going to be more tense. So might as well prepare our ground now, so we won't be taken by surprise. So overall, now is a good time to focus on that which we want to create, to empower in our life, and to what we want to manifest in our life. This is a good time to focus on it, to make it grow. Whatever we've been hiding or keeping safe because we have been fearful of it, or because we've been scared that it could, be taken by someone else. Whatever wisdom or knowledge you have to share. Now whatever now it's a time to, start to release it and let it be seen by over. What seed of light you have within yourself that you can bring into the world, then now is a good time to let it grow and let it be seen by over. You are here to use it and to share it with the world. And this, because this new moon is a reminder that within all of us, there is a seed that is allowed to bloom and that can come into its own power and existence. And it is not supposed to be contained, repressed. It is not supposed to be hidden or suppressed. All of you, all of us within, we have something valuable to share with others. And now it's time to nurture it. So take time to breathe and allow yourself to naturally come into being again. Let your potential authentically express itself in a new way that is less restricted by a distorted masculine energy, which has become the patriarchy, who uses its power to suppress what is organic within us all. Nonetheless, usually new visions and innovative ideas don't happen until we are under a lot of pressure. So use this Taurus energy to find grounding and peace within yourself. Let your being simply be. Let the opportunities meant for you flow towards you once you align with your divine purpose. The dark forces and their fear tactics won't be able to hold on to you for much longer. When you trust the wisdom of our Mother Earth. So, and finally, if you are going through a hard time, and especially the date I gave earlier, I think it was about the 25th of May, when Mars will square Pluto. So from now up to there, if you have some tension. Anyway, for some relief, know that there will be one of the most benefic aspects in astrology that will be coming. And that is going to be soon after Mars has square Pluto and after Venus will square Saturn. You see, Venus is going to be conjuncting with Jupiter. So that is a really good time to look forward to. If you want to make any plans for something good in your life, anything financial, anything in your love life. So you see that Saturn is at 12, Venus is at 12. So from the 29th of May, then this is going to be a good time to look forward to. From the 29th of May, Venus is coming closer to Jupiter in Cancer, and they are going to be conjuncting. From the 29th of May, and then they're going to be conjuncting. Yeah, from the 29th of May to 9th of June, look forward to this time because this is one of the most fortunate aspects, filled with blessing, joy and relief and bliss. So see in your birth chart where you have Cancer, I know that some goodies are coming for you. So it's always good, if we go through some hardship in life. This is why I love astrology, because you can know when things will get brighter and improve for you. So again, if you don't know anything about where is your Cancer house, where is your Taurus house, remember that below this video, you can go on my website. If you just subscribe and put your email, and I will send you for free your birth chart report, and you will get all this information. And even now, I did, some transit listing, so you can follow your transit with a small description about what the transit means. And then if you want something more in depth about birth chart reading, if you want to ask me a question and other things that I have on my website, please check it out. So that's all I've got today. So if you stay to the end, I'm so grateful for your time. Thank you so much to have watched my video. I hope you got something useful from it. And yeah, until the next time, I wish you a happy new moon. And I will see you next time. Take care and bye for now.